My name is Emily. I'm 28. I have an older brother, Ryan. He's 33. On the outside, Ryan is perfect. He works in finance, wears tailored suits, always brings flowers for mom, and wine for dinner parties. I've always been different. Art school dropout, startup jobs, bold eyeliner, louder opinions. Growing up, we didn't fight much, not openly, but that didn't mean we were close. Ryan never raised his voice. He didn't need to. He competed with smiles, with perfect timing, with comments that sounded helpful until you listened closely. When I didn't get into my top university, he said, "That's okay. Most people need a backup plan." When I moved home after a breakup, he said, "Well, that kind of thing never lasts anyway." Always smiling, always civil, always superior. Our parents never saw it. Mom loved saying, "You two are night and day, but you balance each other." No, Ryan wasn't my balance. He was my constant comparison, the one I could never match. I learned to live with it, tolerate it, until he made that toast. At Mom's 60th birthday, with over 30 family members and friends gathered around, he stood up, clinked his glass, and said, "I'd like to thank everyone for coming, and I just want to say, Mom, you've always treated Emily like your own." Some people laughed, some didn't understand, but I heard it. Every word, every implication, like poison in sugar, like your own. My heart stopped. For a second, I thought I misheard, but I saw the look on his face. I knew he meant it. I smiled. I didn't cry. I didn't ask questions. I just raised my glass and toasted along with everyone else. And in that moment, I knew something very clearly. If he wanted war, he just got one. The party ended with cake and small talk, but I wasn't really there. I smiled when someone asked about work, laughed at someone's story, but my mind was elsewhere. Ryan's words echoed louder than the music. I knew what he was doing. He wanted to humiliate me, but gently, publicly, in a way that couldn't be challenged without making me look crazy. Like your own. That phrasing doesn't come out of nowhere, and it wasn't a joke. It was calculated. That's the thing about Ryan. He never says anything by accident. When I got home that night, I lay on my bed fully dressed. My phone buzzed with notifications from Instagram stories and family group photos, but I didn't look. I stared at the ceiling and remembered something I hadn't thought of in years. I was 14. I'd overheard our aunt talking in the kitchen with Mom in hushed voices. Does Emily know anything yet? No, and I don't want her to. It would change how she sees herself. At the time, I brushed it off. Probably about something else. Now I wasn't so sure. I called Mom the next day. She sounded cheerful at first. "Wasn't that such a nice night? You look lovely, honey." I didn't play along. "Mom, what did Ryan mean?" Silence. "You know what I'm talking about." Another pause. "I think you should come over." That's when I knew it wasn't a joke. I drove over that evening. Mom was waiting for me in the kitchen. No wine, no dinner, just water on the table and tissues already out. She didn't deny it. She told me I came into their life when I was 2. Foster care. Emergency situation. Temporary at first, but then I stayed. They never told me because they didn't want me to feel different. "You are my daughter," she said through tears. Nothing changes that. But everything changed because Ryan knew. I don't know how long had known, but he used it like a weapon, not to tell the truth, to hurt. And I decided then I wasn't going to cry about it. I was going to learn how to hurt him back. I didn't strike right away. Ryan was smart, too smart to attack directly. He'd hide behind politeness and plausible deniability. So I decided to be just as calculated. I started digging, not into adoption papers. I already knew who I was. That wasn't the point anymore. This wasn't about finding out who I was. It was about making Ryan feel just as small as he tried to make me feel. I remembered something strange from a year ago. At a family barbecue, Ryan had disappeared for about an hour. When he came back, he was sweaty and disheveled, unusual for someone who treated wrinkles like sin. I also remembered a woman, Stephanie. She worked with our mom. She was at the party too, though no one really paid her much attention. But I saw her pull Ryan aside. I saw the look in his eyes and hers. That memory clicked hard, so I started watching. Online first. Stephanie's Facebook was locked down tight, but her daughter's wasn't, and her daughter posted a photo. A kitchen, same backsplash as Stephanie's place. Ryan was in the background, no tie, just socks and sweatpants, holding a wine glass. Caption: "Mom and the guy watching trash TV again, lol." That was 2 weeks ago. I kept going, found more comments, shared events, Spotify playlists. One post tagged him accidentally under a different name, Ryan T instead of his real full name. Smart, but not smart enough. Then came the final piece, a loan database search. You'd be amazed what a friend in real estate can help you find. 2 months ago, Ryan took out a personal line of credit, $40,000, co-signed by our father. Purpose, property support. Address, Stephanie's. My hands were shaking. Not because he was dating an older woman, not because she was 15 years older and still married to someone else on paper, but because he took out debt without telling anyone and used Dad's name to do it. If that went south, it could destroy our parents' finances. And yet, he stood at that birthday party with a champagne glass, smiling, acting righteous. That's when I made my decision. I wasn't going to confront him. I was going to expose him, and I knew exactly when and how. Mom's retirement dinner was planned for mid-April. Small gathering. Close friends, a few coworkers, and family, of course, including Ryan and Stephanie. I knew they'd both be there. I offered to help organize the guest list, took charge of the seating chart, even helped with the slideshow. "You've matured so much," Mom said, hugging me in the kitchen. I smiled. It was genuine, because this time I wasn't walking in as the shadow of a perfect sibling. I was walking in ready to bring daylight. That evening, Ryan was confident. He wore his favorite gray suit, shook hands, gave compliments. Stephanie sat across the table, 2 seats down. She wore pearl earrings. Classic, elegant, married. When it came time for toasts, I volunteered to speak second, right after Dad. To Mom, I began, who gave us everything, who taught us to be kind, to be honest, and to never hide behind lies. I let that linger. Ryan's smile twitched. "You've always believed in doing the right thing, even when it's hard. And I admire that, which is why I think it's time we all stop pretending." Murmurs, shifts in seats. I look straight at Ryan. Because pretending hurts people. Pretending you're helping someone while actually dragging them down. Pretending to love one person while secretly financing another's apartment. Even pretending to be someone you're not. I held up a small envelope, thick, sealed. "This has a copy of a loan agreement, signed by you and Dad, for a property that doesn't belong to this family, but the risk does. Right, Ryan?" He didn't say a word, but his face drained of all color. Mom looked confused. Dad looked furious. Stephanie froze. Someone coughed, someone stood, the room cracked like glass. I didn't wait, I finished my toast. "So here's to truth and to no more pretending." I set the envelope on the table and I sat down. The room didn't applaud. It held its breath until Ryan got up and left, quietly, without touching his plate. Ryan didn't come back that night. He didn't text, didn't call. Mom was shaken. Dad was quiet. I knew they were processing it in their own ways. Stephanie left shortly after him. No goodbye, no explanation, just her purse and her pearls disappearing through the restaurant door. I went home and slept harder than I had in weeks. The next morning, Ryan sent a one-line message. "You really think you're better than me?" I didn't answer, because that's the difference between us. I don't start wars unless I'm ready to finish them. Over the next week, fallout spread like oil in water. Dad froze the loan. Mom confronted Ryan. Stephanie's husband apparently found out. Not from me, but it didn't matter. I didn't need to twist the knife. Truth has a way of cutting all on its own. 2 weeks later, Ryan showed up at my door. No suit, just jeans and regret. "You humiliated me," he said. "You did it first," I answered. He looked tired, older. "I just wanted people to see you for who you are." "You mean adopted?" I asked. "Because I know who I am, and it terrifies you." He didn't reply. "You always needed to be the better one, the real one. But guess what, Ryan? Being real has nothing to do with blood, and everything to do with character." He left, again, and I haven't heard from him since. Mom and Dad apologized for keeping the truth from me. I told them I forgave them, because I do. I understand why they did it. But I also told them, next time someone tries to hurt me with the truth, it'll still win, because I've already survived it. I've never felt more like myself than I do now. Not because I proved Ryan wrong, but because I stopped living in his shadow. People say family is everything, but family, like anything else, is earned. And if someone uses blood to bleed you dry, you don't owe them your silence. You owe them the truth. Share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like. Click on the bell to not miss stories from me.